Let me tell you, 2 Weeks Notice was such an amazing read for me by Amy Porterfield because it really gave me the courage to want to pursue different opportunities. And I just wanted to be able to see how someone else did it, how they left their job and how they built their business. For someone to put this together into a book was just a wonderful thing for me. And I really admire her courage because she is the type of person that is aware of how people view her and perceive her. And I think sometimes she is hard on herself, especially when something embarrassing happens. I think many of us are like that, but I'm just so happy that she pulled back the curtain and really talked about it. This book was so practical about the different things that you need to consider, how to give yourself a runway to quitting your job and what you should be doing in order to replace that income and the different things that you need to do in order to make sure that you're protecting your boundaries as a new entrepreneur. So I was really happy to pick up this book by Amy Porterfield. And I know this about her because I do follow her closely on social media and I listen to her podcast weekly. And I'm just really happy that she created this book. I was on her launch team for this book. So if you've been seeing me on social media talk about the book, this is really something that I believe in. And that was why. And I actually took more photos with the book. So I'll probably still be talking more about it. And so I still want to talk about her book on my platform and just give people that courage. And so the subtitle of the book is Find the Courage to Quit Your Job, Make More Money, Work Where You Want, and Change the World. I do have plans on leaving my current job. And so I'm just in the thick of all the planning and trying to make sure I leave on a positive note and help my boss and still be able to leave and pursue what I want. So this episode is going to be about navigating working a full-time job while being an entrepreneur on the side. Of course, this book by Amy, she's going to encourage you to quit your job and pursue a business, but I wanted this episode to be for people that are trying to do both because that is a lot of our situations and it needs to be talked about. We need more support in this area. I don't believe that it should be one or the other because I was following some social media accounts that were really supporting one side, like pick one. I'm glad for the day that I saw a video where a woman was doing both and is doing both and how that was encouraging to me. So as long as I find the right opportunity for me, then I will be able to still be able to do both until I feel as though I'm ready to leave that one if I am and pursue my business full time. So, this episode is dedicated to the multitasker. If you are looking to leave your job, your 9 to 5, and pursue business full time, get this book. It is such a good read. It's so positive and it really helps you to build the blocks in order to make that transition. So, get this book. It's 2 Weeks Notice by Amy Porterfield. Find the courage to quit your job, make more money, work where you want, and change the world. And I have been able to listen to it on an audiobook while I'm at work. So I have something that is encouraging as well. And you can get it on Amazon or you can go to 2weeksnoticebook.com to purchase the book or anywhere that you love to purchase books.
You're listening to the Warrior Rulebook podcast with me, Monique Harmon. I love helping people express themselves, protect their peace, and be confident in being them. You may also know me as Pretty Nikki, who started her online journey as a modest fashion blogger. Now I'm an entrepreneur. You'll see through my experiences and the experiences of others that change is possible, improvement is tasty, and meaningful connection is transformational. Come on, share your story with me.
So the main problem that I see with trying to work a 9 to 5 as well as starting a side hustle or starting a business on the side is balance, of course. It never seems to be enough time in the day. You have to go to so many meetings. You have to worry about what you're doing during the daytime and getting those projects done. And then if you are pursuing things to grow your business or you're trying to work with other business owners, those are meetings that you have to go to. And it can get very tiring very quickly. And I know that many entrepreneurs struggle with this because they want to work on their business, but work is looming in the morning, or even if they have to go to work at night, it is very hard. I'm going to tell you from personal experience, it is very hard to try to start something with your business, whether it's a task or writing an email or making a post on social media or working with the client and knowing that you have to get up the next day and you have to go to work. Whereas you might just want to take a little break, a little breather and rest or be able to just work on your business and then go for a walk, not being worried that you have to go get ready for work and work on someone else's dream. So it's definitely hard. And I can see how when you have a job like that is your top priority because that's the way that you might be bringing in income at that time. You may not be making more money in your business because you're just starting it off, or you might be hitting a wall where you feel stagnant, where you feel stuck. And it can be very hard to break what you're doing and then go to work. And I know for me, a lot, I have to get up extra early if I'm trying to write an email to my email list or if I'm trying to make a post early in the morning and scheduling it and then getting ready for work. It can be very tiring, but I want to encourage you to find time in your day to be able to work on your business and then making sure that you're taking breaks and resting for if you have to go to work. So, a few things that have been able to help me. I want to start with my favorite one, and that is listening to podcasts. So, I am allowed to listen to podcasts while I am on the job. And so, I'll have my earbuds in, and while I'm working, I'm listening to an audio book, or I might be listening to a podcast that is something encouraging that is helping me in my business. So that way I don't have to worry about trying to read something and then working on something. I can literally just listen to it while I am working, and that encourages me throughout the day. So it reminds me that, hey, you got a business, you got an empire that you are consistently working on building. And this is what you need to be aware of right now in your season of business, or this is what you need to consider if you're having this problem. This might be why this is happening. So listen to them and listening to the struggles that other entrepreneurs that are millionaires that are facing. It shows that they're still human, and it shows that I need to avoid certain pitfalls that might be coming up for me. I know one thing in particular is the hustle culture because I used to feel that like as a solopreneur, I used to feel that like, oh, like this is great. I am doing so many things in my business to try to make it grow. And it's just me. I don't have a team yet. I used to be happy about that, like wearing multiple hats, even in other areas of my life. I used to be happy, like, and feel like superwoman. And it wasn't before long that I got burned out by doing that. And so by listening to other entrepreneurs talk about that, like, no, like there's no badge of honor in wearing multiple hats or doing things that aren't even aligned with your skill set just because it's in your business. That was so key for me. And I listened. I started to make sure that I take more naps, that I'm eating well, that I am taking a break from my business. There are some days I don't work on my business every single day. I used to try to really hard, but I mean, I guess if you consider listening to a podcast episode about business, then I can say I'm working on my business every day, like just trying to learn. But even there are some days where I'm just like, I don't want to listen to another business podcast today. I need to listen or watch something happy just to get a break from it. So I do try to space out more time with working on something in my business just so I can breathe and I can rest. But I want this to be an encouragement to you all that have felt as though you have dropped your business, that you are taking too many breaks and you're just focusing on your job. I want to encourage you to try to work on something maybe on a weekly basis for your business. What can you do to get your business out there or to establish yourself? Try to think about that because clearly you went into business for a reason. Maybe if you went into business just because that's something that's popular right now, then you might want to reconsider why you wanted to start a business. But if you have changed people's lives, even on a small scale, and people are telling you how much they enjoy your product or how much they enjoy your service, then you want to not let that go. You want to be able to still inspire those people and help them and improve your business. Like it's not going to be an overnight process. And that's something that Amy talks about in 2 weeks' notice. It's not going to happen right away. Like you're going to fall, you're going to fail. But the point is to get back up and really look at what in your business is falling apart and how can you address that? How can you start small and make small actions towards refining and perfecting your business? I think something a little bit more deeper on how you can make sure that you're equally focusing towards your job and your business is whatever projects that you have to do at your job, what can you do day by day in small increments to make sure that the project gets done on time? How can you pace yourself and time yourself? How can you stay in communication with your boss so that you don't fall behind on the project? And that if you need an extension, that you're asking for it and you're saying why. You don't have to say, oh, because I'm working on my business, but maybe you could say, I need additional information for this, or I need help on this. Sometimes I find with trying to figure out things all on my own, it kind of can waste some time rather than if I just had asked for more direction from my boss, then I wouldn't have wasted time. So it's a balance of, trying to be resourceful yourself and also trying to make sure that you're asking for help when you really have hit a brick wall. And with your business, try to work on scheduling things. So that's a big thing for me. I know everybody is not on social media with their business, but for those of you that are on social media, try to see what is in your mind this week that you feel as though you can share with your audience. A quick clip or a quick moment in your life as an entrepreneur. What can you share with them? What tip can you share with them? And be able to schedule that to go out. Sometimes you might have to focus on reoccurring themes so that it's easier for you to create the content until you are able to spin off from that agenda and just be able to post things off the cuff. So I've gotten pretty good at that where I have an idea in my head and I will find the clip or make the clip and then just put some encouraging words on top of it and post it. Sometimes I may share encouraging information or just a little thought that has to do with my industry or how I help people. So that way I'm reminding people, I'm constantly reminding them, hey, this is what I do. By the way, if you are looking to definitely build your brand on social media this year, I have designed a challenge just for you, you wellness entrepreneur. So, what you can do is go to the link in this episode. It's going to be in the show notes under the episode, and it's going to be my 3-day challenge that I am hosting live at the time of this recording. And so it's going to be on March 29th, 30th, and 31st at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. And essentially, what you're going to learn is how you can build your brand on social media using video and spiritual music. And so you'll walk away with being able to create at least 2 videos that have spiritual music, and you will be able to increase brand awareness and be able to connect with other like minded individuals on social media, whether that is for collaboration purposes or to build your expertise online. So if you're definitely looking for those things where you want people to know more about your business, you want people to understand what you do, and you want people to reach out to you for your services or your products, get yourself into this challenge and join today because it is going to be new and improved. It's called Get the Right Consistency Challenge. So if you have taken it in the past, it is going to be new this time. So I would definitely get into this challenge because I'm so excited to share with y'all what I have been working on and the process that has helped me to connect with people online, to encourage them, to inspire them, to get direct messages of keep doing what you're doing. And this is so helpful. So if you want to make that kind of impact, get into the challenge. I'm going to show you my 3-step process. Go to the link in the show notes and register yourself. I'm so excited to be working with you on this. So, another thing that you want to work on, of course, is your mindset. People tend to talk about this first, but I didn't want people to roll their eyes. So, I wanted to say it definitely does take having a quality mindset, and you have to do a lot of things to enrich your mind, whether that is listening to something encouraging, like I mentioned earlier in the episode, an audiobook or a podcast episode. But you also need to see people that are successful in your particular industry, just so you can remind yourself that, hey, this is possible. Even me, this is what I do. I pay attention to people that are successful in my niche. I love their content. Their content is encouraging to me. And even though I don't want to do my business the way that they are doing it, there are different things like, oh, I wouldn't do that, or that's not my thing. I'm still able to follow them for the things that I do like and be able to appreciate what they're sharing. You know, sometimes dealing with different personalities online, even the successful entrepreneurs, sometimes things that they say or do can be very annoying. But I do try to pay attention to what it is that they're saying, the information and knowledge that they're willing to share for free, and keeping that in the back of my mind. So when something does come up, I can be like, oh, so and so said this about how I should navigate it, or how she has navigated it, or how he has navigated it. And I should be aware of this and I should try this to see if this will work for me. So, because I don't want to be making extra mistakes that I do not have to make as a business owner. Being a business owner is already hard enough. So, I definitely do try to pay attention to that as well. And I will also say, make sure that beyond the podcast, beyond the audiobooks that you are listening to, whether that is a online course or maybe a coaching program that you invested in, if you're getting those trainings, listen to those over and over again, because not every business podcast episode is going to be a masterclass. And a masterclass is basically a way for you to learn about a particular topic in more depth, but it's still to just get you started. It's not the entire process or that support, from the coaching. uh, it's not the full support from the coach in terms of being able to get feedback from them personally, and check-ins and accountability partners and things like that. So while it is good to rewatch those master classes and listen to those podcast episodes, you want to make sure that you are investing in something, even if it's a small scale, like the Get the Right Consistency Challenge. Be able to go back and listen to that and implement what you're learning. Don't just listen to it for a motivational speech. You need to be listening to something or watching something that is going to walk you through a process that you'll be able to implement so you can start seeing results. And something that I want to say as well, when you do all of this, don't expect things to happen for you right away. You have to be patient. Just when you start a new job, you have to be patient in getting their processes down and understanding what they need. I was so frustrated when I started my job because Like, this is simple. Why am I not getting it? And I was so hard on myself, and my boss had to talk to me and be like, you're doing great. Just it's a process. And she was very encouraging to me. So it's the same thing with your business. All these little pieces of you implementing, you're not going to get the balance right away, but the key is to keep working on it. There are some days I come home, I'm exhausted. Like I said, I'm not working on my business. I'm just focusing on eating and sleeping. I'm just being honest. And it's okay. It's just make sure that you pick your business back up so you can build something for yourself that you can own. Okay. So come back to this episode. If you are having a rough day in your business and you're still in your job, come back and listen to this, because this will help you when the days are getting dark for you in your business, when you feel like letting it all go, letting it just fall away. So be encouraged to work for your dream. Even if you are building up someone else's dream right now, that's okay. It doesn't always have to be like this. Try to get with a community that is going to be able to help you in this area, right? So when I say that, I mean people that are trying to build alongside with you. It's good to have someone that is trying to go after the same thing you want, even though they have a different business or they're in a different industry. You can encourage each other. And the way that you can be encouraging to each other is checking in on them. And if you see that they're saying, oh, yeah, it's all right, or yeah, my business is so, or it's going, try to see how you can be encouraging. We'll be like, well, what are you struggling with this week? What can I do? Is there anything that I can do to help you? Do you want to talk about it? Maybe you can bounce some more ideas off of me and we can just help each other. Like, that is just so inspiring and so encouraging when you have someone that is actually looking out for you in your business, even if they may not know what to say, but just them being there, just to listen, just so you can vent your frustrations too. Because as Amy says in the book, there's going to be some family members that you have, some coworkers that are not going to understand what you're doing. So you want to be able to talk to people that just get it. They get the grind. They get that it's going to be a lot of stress involved. And maybe they can highlight a section for you that you might have missed, that you're like, hey, I went through this and this is what I did. And I felt so much better after doing this. And it just helps you get through your business through another day. And Amy does mention that in the book, like, think of 3 people that you can talk to about your business or about your plans that are really going to encourage you, not people that are going to guilt you. See if you can talk to those 3 people, people that are going to help you and be inspirational for you to keep moving forward in your business. So I hope that this encourages you, those of you that are playing for both teams in terms of working on someone else's dream and working on your dream. Remember why you started your dream. Clearly, if it's helping people and you can see the happiness that it brings to them, keep doing it, keep working at it. Even if you have to take some breaks here and there, just make sure you come back to it and you give people hope, like, hey, yes, I'm taking a break this week, but I'll be back next week. Staying in constant communication and automating as much as you can. Like, if you can spend one day writing out some emails, drafting out some emails to your email list, or creating some social content, or going to an event, maybe one event per quarter, to just get your business out there and network with other people, you will be amazed at the opportunities that you have. So, as an action plan, if you are looking for some action steps that you can do, get 2 weeks notice by Amy Porterfield. If you are looking to leave your job and start an online business, or if you're just looking for the courage to leave your current job and pursue a different job, I would still say get the book. And if you are leaving your current job to go to a different job, but still with the intent to start an online business, I would say get the book. Also, what I would say to do as well is focus on one goal. You can start out, depending on how much time you have, What is one goal at your current job? And then what is one goal in your business that you can work on in the same week? And then, of course, you can add on maybe one more goal for each. I would say the max two. Don't overwhelm yourself. Just try to focus on that. And you can also use a project management tool like Asana. I love asana.com to be able to write out the different things I need to do. Or if you are more traditional and love a planner or using a calendar, a wall calendar to write out the different things that you're focusing on for that week, and give yourself a deadline. Give yourself a deadline, even if you have to extend the deadline. Sometimes I have to do that. There are a couple of things on my Asana board that I keep just adding new dates to, trying to see when my schedule is more clearer and when I can actually get it done. But when you put a deadline on something, it solidifies it and it makes you want to work towards it. I at least say that from my experience. So just try those things and the other things that I mentioned in the episode. If you can invest in an online course or some sort of mini training that is going to break down a specific process for you that you can in turn implement, do that so you can start to see some movement in your business. And something that I want to work on as well this year is getting on more podcasts, being a podcast guest on different podcasts and just get myself out there so that I can get more organic reach. Think about that as well, because it's a great opportunity. These podcast hosts that have like 1,000 subscribers or 1,000 followers, 1,000 listeners, or even bigger podcasts, don't be afraid to go for the bigger ones because you have something unique that you bring to that audience, especially if it's aligned. So make sure that you're not wasting your time, making sure that you are going to a podcast host that has an audience that can definitely benefit from what you are selling. Okay, specifically niching, all right? And seeing if you can get in front of that audience so that way you can drive leads to your business. Okay, so that is a bonus tip. And I hope that you enjoyed this episode and that you even listen to it when you are feeling discouraged in your business or even in your job. Bye.
Thank you so much for tuning in to the Warrior Rulebook podcast. If you like what you heard, share it with a friend and join me over at the Warrior Rulebook Podcast Insider group on Facebook. And don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for more tips on how to be resilient in this world.